Hi everybody, I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com. This is my channel where we talk about all kinds of things that I've done over the years to lose almost 150 pounds. And I'm going to tell you about a recent journey I took. Behind me is the Victoria, BC harbor. This is not only where I live, but this is where I got off a cruise ship recently that had been to Seattle. It was the low-carb cruise. On that cruise were over 300 people, like-minded people, and they are all doing some kind of species-appropriate diet, everything from just lowering carbs to being ketogenic, to being carnivores, and everything in between. So that's the context. We had session presenters. There was a presenter, his name was Dr. Donald Vega, and I heard him say something really profound. It doesn't matter what you are doing, what matters most is why you are doing it. And that really struck a chord in me. Without that meaningful purpose, without having a strong purpose and a strong why, that is the reason why many people continue to struggle. So I was interested in hearing from some of the session presenters and panelists what their personal why was, and I did manage to catch up with a few of them, and I wanted them to tell me about what drives them and what their whys are. You already know and love the people that you're about to see, and I think when you hear what they have to say that you're going to love them even more. So I will be providing all of their contact information below, how you can follow them, and I hope you enjoy. So let's watch.
Yeah, the why. So my family, my mom's side, everyone died. All my uncles died in their 40s and early 50s of cardiovascular disease, all diabetes related. And their idea was live and let live. I'm gonna eat this cookie and I'm gonna have some more insulin, or I'm gonna have this, whatever, I'll have some more Lipitor. And it didn't protect them ultimately. And so as an internal medicine doctor, I've struggled with weight my entire life. And then I started looking into the ketogenic, low carb, intermittent fasting. And I started seeing myself getting better, and my A1C dropped from 5.9 down to 5.1, and my insulin dropped dramatically, and sugars got better, all those things, just changing lifestyle. And so I've been implementing that in my practice. So my why is, I think a lot of us, we have a why that gets us started, but sometimes we forget. When things get hard and people are eating cookies or pizza around you, you say, forget it, I'll start again Monday, or I'll start again after the first of the year. And so we just keep kicking that can down the road. And so I think it's really important, especially those of us who've seen the horrors of uncontrolled diabetes with amputations, dialysis, blindness, it's the number one cause of all these illnesses that we see. And so initially in my career, I really hated diabetes from that fact. But now we know it's reversible. We were told by the American Diabetes Association that it was a chronic progressive disease that we really couldn't do anything about it other than throw more meds. And now we're seeing people coming off meds, and we're seeing the A1C getting better. So I think those are things that it's not romantic because we don't know. We're preventing a problem before it happens. So we don't see what we've actually prevented, which is the exciting part for us because we know what it would have been without making lifestyle changes. So for me as a doc, it's the most rewarding part of my career is that I can see people's A1Cs come down from 14 down to 6 or 4, and it's amazing to see that. Plus, at the same time, we're seeing improvements in mood, quality of life, joint pains getting better. But the biggest surprise has been mood. So I think just remembering your why, if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, upset stomach, irritation, irritable bowel syndrome, a lot of these things do get better with lifestyle. So it gives us hope, and it gives you the power to remember your why, and also to know you have control of this situation, and not that you just have to, we're all on a path that we're kind of stuck, that we're predisposed to having all these things that we have nothing in our power that we can do. So knowing that you have the power, now it's on us to make those lifestyle changes. And and again, not forgetting about sleep and stress and all these other factors that are involved, and even attitude. enjoy the journey, I'd say. And, when you get through those hard parts where you feel like you're climbing straight uphill, remember your why, and that will get you back on track. And you'll have a new energy to keep going forward. For me, my personal why was just seeing the effects of diabetes and obesity and just living that life of, you reward yourself with food, you mourn with food, everything is around food, every family gathering, every hard day, you say, well, I deserve a cookie because I had a hard day, or I deserve an extra drink, those kind of things. So my why was saying, I want to live the longest, there's something called a lifespan, but there's also a health span. So my goal ultimately is to have my health span and my lifespan be the same, because I don't want to be in a nursing home for 20 years staring at the wall, or being too weak to go enjoy it. And even on the cruise, we can see people that aren't able to go out and enjoy nature and enjoy because of the health situation that they're in. So I think not taking that for granted and saying I want to live as much quality of life as I can,
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, friends, what my why has changed over the decades. 28 years ago, my why was, I don't want to take these drugs that the doctor gave me. I was given a drug for depression. I was given something for, I had acid reflux, I had PCOS and IBS. I didn't want to take those drugs, so my why was, I need to beat this. And then my why became, everybody thinks I can't do it, so I'm going to do it even harder. So that was when I was about 18, 20. My family thought, oh, she just can't keep doing this. And now my why is, I want to keep helping. I don't know if I've helped thousands, millions, whatever with my book, but I would just want to keep helping people. And my why is, I want to keep feeling great. I feel better than I did when I was a teenager. So my why is to just keep feeling great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
And
So I guess the question is, what is my why? And I think there's two aspects. So I'm going to answer it for two ways. One is my personal why. What am I doing? Why do I make the decisions that I make every day to maintain my health, maintain my physical freedom, those types of things? And that's really just because I feel an obligation as a father, as a man, to always be ready to support, protect, and provide. And I can't do that. I can't be an example. I can't be there for those people that need me if I can't be there for myself, right? So it's really just an aspect of my physical ability, my ability to do the things that I want to do, when I want to do them, how I want to do them, and just the freedom to not have limitations put on me by my health or by my inability to do things physically. So those things specifically are just, I can't have that in my life. So that's my personal, I want to do everything I possibly can to live as free as possible. Second why is, why do I do what I do to help other people? Much like you, right? That we have multiple aspects of our lives, and this supports the first one, because in order for me to be an example of what it can be like for people, because a lot of people don't even imagine in their head what could living free look like. So I want to be that example. So I have to keep that. I have to stay fit. I have to stay on the path of doing things for my health, because I have seen firsthand what loss of physical ability looks like. I have seen what it looks like to have people that I grew up with as a kid who helped raise me deteriorate into nothing but skin and bones and not even be able to have any life before they passed, right? Just existing at the behest of other people. Everything is done for them because they couldn't do it themselves. And just at some point there's that change, and it's expected, which I think is a sad thing. It's expected that at some point in your life you're just going to change from living your life to waiting to die. And I want to live my life up until the day I die. I want to, I think I might have said it on your when we've talked in the past. Live for as long as possible and die as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right? We want to live well and die fast. So many people start the process of dying in their 30s. Their body just starts wasting away, and we call it age, and it's not age, it's neglect. And it's, in many cases, it's not on purpose, we just don't know. We just think that's how it's supposed to be. And my mission in life is to let people know that it doesn't have to be that way. So for me, I feel like I have an obligation to myself and the people that I love to be there for them and to not make them dependent, not to make them have to take care of me. And then I don't want anyone else to have to deal with that either. You should, especially as a parent, like, who wants their kids to have to take care of them? That's not where things need to be. So those are my whys.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, we rolling?
We're rolling.
They see me rolling.
So let's talk about whys. I'm Chris Bair. My wife and I, we co-founded Keto Chow and SaltT Electrolytes. I'm doing a keto diet. I originally started it in an effort to lose body weight. Since then, my why has kind of evolved, and a lot of it had to do with some of the books and some of the information that I've gotten. I actually read the book called Big Fat Surprise by Nina Teicholz. And for me, that was kind of a pivotal point where I was like, wow, despite all of the other things, I don't really want to go back to the other way of eating just because of how terrible it made me feel. We're on cruise right now. And for me personally, I don't ever stop eating low carbohydrate, mostly carnivore keto, just because I and especially on a cruise like this, I didn't want the trip. I didn't want it to be defined by getting all inflamed, feeling terrible. And so I realized there's a lot of people who they take time off, they do holidays, they eat stuff for Christmas, and that's if you're doing that as a deliberate choice, hey, more power to you. If that works for you, that's great. But I'm 1 is too many and 10 is not enough, and I don't want to have my trip ruined by I'm stuck in my stateroom feeling terrible. And so I just try to stick with it all the time, just because I feel so good. The science backs it up, and it's just, this is my lifestyle now.
Yeah, so I have kind of two whys actually. When I was growing up, my mother was always obese, morbidly obese. She was 411 pounds at her highest weight, and I have never wanted to let myself get to that place. And I'm sure she didn't either. And I have such a conflict because I'm like, the most wonderful person in the world I don't want to be like, but I want to be like.
Oh yeah.
So it's really hard there. But also just because my mom was so obese, she didn't sit on the ground with us. She didn't play with us as much, and of course she still did, but I want to sit on the ground with my kids. I want to be around when my grandkids are there, and I know that, simplifying health it's a challenge to change things around, but you have less stuff to write on the papers when you're filling out all the doctor's forms,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
So my whys are just, I don't want to get worse, and it's in my genes to get diabetes. Everybody in my family has it growing up.
Dealing with lipedema now.
Yeah, now I have lipedema, which I probably always have had, and so just new challenges just come up, and I'm just trying to figure out how to best take care of them. And so, yeah, being with my kids and grandkids someday is really motivating because I want to be able to just sit on the floor and do stuff with them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My why. Whew. Okay, so it's changed quite a bit over the years. When I first started almost 15 years ago, it was actually, I got out of a toxic relationship, and so it was about reconnecting with myself and my identity and figuring out who am I on my own and who do I want to be and how do I want my life to be. And I was very chronically ill in my 20s. I should have never been so ill so young. So it was about getting back to me, finding me again. I had been a dancer growing up, so I got back into dance and I wanted to feel good in my body. That's what it was all about. Was my gut was a wreck, my mental health was a wreck, my whole body was a wreck. I was on all these medications, and I just wanted to feel good. And so I went down the rabbit hole of, actually it started with my spirituality and my faith. Coming back to my faith and discovering who I was in Christ. And I didn't expect this. Learning to love myself and see my body as a vessel of the Holy Spirit. And for me, it was, I can't treat my body like a garbage can anymore. I have to care about what I put in it. And so I started paying attention to food and what was in food and what I was doing to myself. And that was the whole beginning, was just, if I love myself and respect myself, then I need to care about what I'm putting in this vessel of mine. And then when I discovered how good I could feel, I had no idea. I never felt that good in my life. I thought I would live with chronic pain forever. I just always felt sick to my stomach after meals. I couldn't be present with the people that I love when I was out enjoying life. You know, the live a little. I started hearing that once I got healthy. You know, live a little. No, I'm living a lot. I used to live only a little, and now I'm living a lot. So that was the whole beginning. And then once I did completely change my health and change my body, you know, then it shifted, because I was no longer so much in touch with the pain that I once felt. So then I wanted to take that. I discovered this passion and transformed my own life, and I wanted to help other people transform their lives. And so for the last 5-10 years or so, it's been about who I want to be as an inspiration and a motivation and a coach and a guide. And that's now my North Star, my guiding light is, who do I want to be for others and to lead by example. And who am I if I can't lead by example, then I can't lead anyone anywhere. So that's what keeps me going now.
Thank you so much. Oh.
So what is my why? It's hard because I used to think that my why was the number on the scale, but it's not, and I think it's a horrible why for anybody. If the scale number was such an important, powerful why, we would never be fat, because we would have achieved that number on our very first weight loss attempt, and we would have never changed because that number was so important to us. So I think that your why has to be something that is just life altering. Like, you absolutely need that, and it should not be something that could be easily manipulated. So the bottom line is, we can easily manipulate the number on a scale by going on a diet, or taking a water pill, taking clothes off, taking all of our clothes off, whatever you want, but you can easily manipulate that number. And if you think about the number on a scale, it can fluctuate for people, for women, 10 pounds in a single day. That's why I think it's a horrible why. So I think it's got to be something super powerful. For me, my why is movement. My why is the fact that I can walk, because 8 years ago, I was told, you're gonna have to have an ankle replacement surgery, and that ankle replacement surgery is gonna take you off of your feet for 2 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? All of my income comes from being a sports official and a landscaper. And I remember going home to Rachel and saying, we better figure out how we're gonna live on $2,000 a month, because that's how much she made. And that scared me. And so then when I started keto, not because of that, because of weight loss, and I realized all of a sudden that I can walk without pain. That's what keeps me here. The weight loss doesn't keep me here. What keeps me here is the fact that for the last 9 years, I have not had to take, or 8 years, I have not had to take a painkiller or arthritis medication. That's what keeps me here. It's the fact that I can walk, that I am not in a wheelchair, that's a powerful why.
I do agree that you need to have a why that makes you cry. And I believe that it needs to be linked more to your purpose in life than to this outward shell that we have, that no matter what we do is going to look different as we age. We are going to change. We are going to have wrinkles, and even if we lose weight, we're not going to have that vision of Farrah Fawcett for life on the poster on the wall of your bedroom. We're going to look different. So I wouldn't put all of the emphasis on that outward shell, but what speaks purpose to your life? Because basically that's what we're trying to fuel. I think it's a problem when people decide that getting macros right and following a certain protocol with their eating is their purpose. You could absolutely give over 24 hours of every day into the pursuit of finding perfect macros and make health pursuit your purpose in life. But the way we eat is not our purpose. Keto is not your purpose. Keto is fuel for your purpose. And how sad would it be if we only ever went to the gas station and we just stayed there at the gas pump? All you're doing is fueling what is really necessary for your car so that you could get on the road and go get and have that adventure. And you have to decide for yourself, are you diesel or are you gasoline, right? That's what we decide. And we don't spend a lot of time thinking, is this time my car going to be fueled by diesel, or is this time my car going to be fueled by gasoline? We know what is right. We know what's right. We want to be fat fueled versus carbohydrate fueled. So I don't have to spend a lot of time in that discussion. But what speaks purpose for your life? For me, purpose is getting to see one person after another. I want to reach as many people as possible and love them. I want to have a conversation and listen to their wins and celebrate their life and their journey. I want to meet as many people as I possibly can with the time that I have left here on earth. In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to keep my brain stable. I need to be able to undergird my brain health. So for Joe, mobility is a major factor for him staying keto. If I want to maintain proper brain health so that I can leave my house and comfortably interact with other people, I am going to have to continue eating keto. So that's my why.
Wow. I mean, you guys almost had me in tears.
Oh, well, thank you for letting us share our story and our why. It's nice for us to have a moment to remind ourselves.
Goodness, thank you so much.
Thank you.